These palm trees, they sway, but each night and each day I'm California dreaming about you. Oh yeah, got this world-class view, but it's you that I think about every time when my mind's on it. And it's you that I think about every time when I get lonely. And it's you that I call on my FaceTime when I need something real. Oh yeah, I work the night shift till late in the PM. I'm California dreaming. California dreaming about you. California dreaming about you.
As far as I can remember, my dad is my first influence in music.
Well, I felt the boy had to be well versed in the classics. The Who, Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, Shania Twain, all the important bands.
Whether it was at home or in the car driving to and from school, my dad always had his music on. His taste includes many classic rock hits from Pink Floyd, The Who, and The Doors, but there was also plenty of punk rock names in there too. In fact, my first concert was The Offspring when I was 15 years old. There was just something about the lyrics in each of the songs which captivated me, though I rarely knew what they were talking about.
However, all of this changed in the 6th grade when Danny got his first iPod.
It was in the 6th grade when Danny got his first iPod for his birthday. Around the same time, he was staying up late with the radio on, doing homework, and rocking out to the day's hits. I listened to artists like Chris Brown, T-Pain, and Lady Gaga, and thinking about it now, they all had really similar sounds insofar as like synth sounds and processed vocals and really just an electronic kind of vibe.
These were the early days of his interest in the electronic dance music genre. In fact, it was the song Infinity 2008 that really opened the door for him.
After hearing that song in particular, I can remember downloading music podcasts where they featured new tracks from loads of EDM artists.
I remember Danny telling me he used to listen to a lot of podcasts up until the 8th grade when he got his first.
I got my first computer in the 8th grade. Well, a laptop. And I was supposed to use it for writing papers, but instead I used it for finding dank memes on the internet and watching an unsettling amount of YouTube videos. I remember at the same time I was listening to this podcast and I heard this song and I was like, wait, what is this? Because I really liked it. So I listened to it over and over and over again and I had to find out what it was.
It was this very song that sent him on the hunt for many like it. The song was Levels by Avicii.
Ever since I heard that song, I was entranced by the house music genre. I started looking into other artists like Tiesto and Alesso, and I just wanted to fill my head with these sounds.
He told me one day while he was looking for music, he came across this video called How to Make Avicii Levels, and because of that video, that's where he learned he could download a program on his computer to where he could actually make his own music.
So let's try it again.
It was this discovery of ImageLine's FL Studio that would send Danny into the world of music producing. Now, obviously, I wasn't producing anything spectacular when I first started, but gradually I was learning more and more about the program and how it worked, and eventually I started making these little songs. Throughout high school, and even now, Danny spends some of his time producing music at home. He calls it a hobby, one in which he can spend hours and hours happily creating harmonies and melodies and eventually putting them together to make little songs.
I've always enjoyed making dance music because it's always just so happy and uplifting.
Did you make anything other than dance music?
You know, I didn't really get into like trap music until a little bit later on. I always wanted to produce my own beats, but I could never really get it to sound right. I never really had the right sounds, and so I kind of just gave up for a little while.
And give up he did, until he got a new job at the movie theater, where his new friendships quickly turned into sick collabs.
Danny and I met at work. We were in the same hire group. I remember that me being older, he always wanted to impress me, or thought that he had to impress me just because of my age. So one day, I remember him telling me that he was like a semi-producer or could make beats on the computer, which I thought was really cool. So I challenged him, not really challenged, but we were talking in a group, and we said, "Hey Danny, would you mind making a beat for us just to see how good you are at producing?" And he accepted, so that's what happened.
Do you remember being challenged to make a beat?
Yeah, I do remember, actually. Everyone at work wanted me to make them a beat, so I was like, okay. I took on the challenge, I downloaded some sample packs, and I just got to work on it.
The first track Danny made was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty good. Me not knowing how to make beats or anything, it was really good. I really dug it. So after hearing it, I just knew that I wanted to collab or be involved with his beat making in some way.
Danny continues to make music whenever he has the chance. He has produced a countless number of these little songs and is actively posting some of his work on SoundCloud. It is with the production of these little songs that brings us to So what has music taught you?
Well, music has taught me quite a bit, actually. You see, everyone has their own taste in music, which is great. I tend to listen to all kinds of music. Sometimes I'll be in a mood and I'll just want to listen to like polka music, say. And then 10 minutes later I'll say, nope, I want to listen to my dance music again. And you know, it's really this kind of variety that makes everything so great, because you can be in the worst mood in the world and you can listen to one song and it can just completely change your mood, turn you 180 degrees around. And if we only had one genre of music, we would just be stuck listening to the same stuff over and over and over again, which, you know, that would get super boring super quick, you know? And in listening to interviews and watching the live sets of my favorite artists, I've learned a couple things. The first thing I learned is that you should never put anything into a song unless it adds something completely different. Personally, music is a lot of a lot of emotional attachment, and when you add something into a song, like when I make my own music, whenever I add something into a song, if it doesn't add something more, if it's just adding noise, then I don't want it in there. But if it adds something new, something that's gonna make you be like, oh wow, that is something that you want in your track. You don't want anything that isn't gonna add something to your track. And the second thing that I learned is that if you're not doing what you love, why are you doing it? I absolutely love music. Listening, going to concerts, you know, making my own music. Like, if I didn't love music, I wouldn't be making my own music. I can spend 6 hours at a time just at my computer, just working on one song, and it's great. You know, and I'll be at home alone, just making my own music, and I'll get so into it. I'll just be so entranced by the song that I will literally get out of my chair and just dance around the room and jump up and down with the dumbest grin on my face. But it's so amazing because it has such an emotional connection to people. So whether it's listening or singing or dancing or going to concerts or whatever it is, just keep doing what you love, because, you know, without love, what are we?